Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're on the test server to take a look at a new marksman hero, Fenris. And I'm not alone. I'm joined by Corey. Welcome, Corey.
Hello, hello.
I'm so glad to have you. So we haven't done a collab yet, right? We just had I had you on the FATELESS podcast, which was a great conversation.
Yep,
But first time on the channel, right? Properly?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually super excited. There's one other time where you showcased my channel a while back, and that I think that was like my little foray into your content. But this is the first
Okay.
time we're actually doing a video, which is awesome.
Yeah. So right now we're on the test server. This guy, I'm assuming, is on this week's banner. I'm recording this before we know, but usually, lately at least, they haven't been giving us stuff to put out until it's the week of the banner. So I'm assuming he's on a banner, and if he's not, it must be very soon. But I actually, on that note, uh, in the future, for some upcoming heroes, I will have a video with Corey on his channel, so make sure you sub
Yep.
there, where he's going to get to have a little sneak peek of something on the test server early as well. So, heads up, give a sub, do the things. And yeah,
It's gonna be
let's
fun.
yeah, so Corey, tell the people what do you like to do for your channel if they don't already know who you are. What are you all about?
Yeah. So it's kind of cool, but I post a lot of Guild v Guild content, and occasionally I'll go ahead and post like a hero build content, but primarily anything Guild v Guild, that's like my little domain. So if you've seen my content, thank you. But if this is the first time you're hearing about me, also thanks and hello.
Yeah, I definitely see your videos, or we've shared them in our guilds. I mean, you're also in Celestial's cluster like I am, so
Yes.
very helpful. I'm not a big Guild fan, but then like it's I love it and I hate it. Like sometimes I feel like trying, and sometimes it's just like I don't want to do this.
Oh yes. I mean, sometimes it just feels like you're running into a wall, and then other times it just feels like you are the wall, right? It's
That's
just
exactly,
you
yeah.
win or you're losing. So it's definitely a fun mode. A lot of tricky concepts, and heroes like Fenris are going to be a little bit interesting as to how they'll function.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be a Guild v Guild hero. Let's find out, I guess. All right, so Fenris, Cursed Khan. He's a marksman, a piercer, northerner faction. Let's take a look at his little visuals here. Oh, he has the
Oh,
Boreas.
that's cool.
Ah,
That's
the
cool.
skin. I love that. To be fair, that's like my favorite thing about the Boreas skin is that it's like he's glowing, and when he does his abilities, it looks so cool. It's my favorite skin for sure.
Oh, he's a centaur as well.
Yeah. It's got a
Ah, that's
shimmer.
cool.
Whoa, it's super shimmery. That's really cool. So they got some nice visuals there with the iridescent.
They put a lot of effort into this. You can tell.
Yeah. He's
Ah, that's
see-through.
actually really cool.
Definitely cool. Also reminding me of why is Boreas not a northerner?
He should be. He should be.
This is like
They
so
released
Boreas.
budget Boreas with Glacius.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so cool visuals, centaur, lots of inspiration that look like the Boreas skin that they definitely took some assets from that, which is smart. Yeah,
Definitely.
all right. So under the ancient god's dark influence, Fenris sheds his mortal coil, emerging with the fearsome powers to knock back enemies and grant shields. All right, like
Okay.
Edith,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
And
We
Grand
haven't.
Shield, so that's the northerner kind of part of it.
Yep. Multi-target attack and durability, and a nice big range like Maul.
Yep. It's interesting.
Okay.
And it's actually cool because he has that range. I think it's similar to Lynx as well, right?
Yeah, that's
Lynx
true.
and
She
Maul have
does
that
as
same
well.
range.
All right, he's
That's gonna be really good.
kind of weird. I'm gonna let him be zoomed in and creepy big for a while. Let's see the actually, let's take a look at the stats first. So it's there we go. So I'm just gonna move you. Actually, I'll just move you instead of
Mhm.
there we go. So 3900 attack. That's pretty standard, right? For
Yeah,
a
that's
marksman.
about 200 more than Silas. I think Silas is
Yeah.
at
Okay.
37.
That's a good
So that's
sign.
interesting. Yeah, that's actually a really good sign.
And then cost is 22, so he's a little more expensive, but that's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
yeah,
he
with
gets
that big
the
attack.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. He has a pretty good attack, and then also he has the deployment time that's decreased because he's a northerner.
Oh yeah, minus. And then we have 3.5 second interval. That's a little slower, right? Because a lot of
Yeah,
times
it is.
that's definitely a little slower. Okay, but well, I guess maybe that's all for good reason. Maybe it's a little bit of a OP check. He's got a great base stat, so let's see. All right, I'm curious. We got talent. When the hero has a shield, increases his basic attack range. Basic attack and cosmic burst inflict slow on the enemies. And this is a 3-second slow that is a 50% movement speed decrease. Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. So it makes me wonder if he has the ability, if built with a little bit of speed, to essentially have a perma slow.
Cosmic burst. I guess we'll see the details of that exactly. So is that the okay, it's a passive. All right. Basic attack. 100%
Hmm.
damage to up to 5 enemies, prioritizes airborne units, typical of a marksman.
Yep,
All right.
120% when fully skilled up.
Oh yeah, 120 with skills. Very true. Undying Will. Okay, big ass range. Look at that range.
Okay, that's like cross. That's a wait. That's close to Malvira's ult range. It's actually really close.
That means he could like smack the guild boss or sorry,
Oh
the
yeah,
Gear Raid 1 boss or whatever, like all
yeah.
the yeah, or the Gear Raid 2 one even,
Okay,
right?
this range is actually insane. Yeah, he'd hit any boss. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
any
That's
boss is getting hit.
long. Okay, knocks back up to 10 enemies in range with 2 times strength, dealing 600% AoE damage and inflicting stun on them. Jesus. The hero also gains a shield equal to 50% max HP for 10 seconds.
That's kind of
A
busted.
3 second
Okay,
stun, too, not just like a 0.5 second or a 1 second.
yeah, no, that's actually insane because I think stun is probably he might be usable for Semra
Oh, you're
to
right.
some degree. If you're like at your last wit's end and you just need a stun.
That's true. Oh boy, I'm curious if there's gonna be other parts to him that make us think he's viable for Semra besides just that. Because he is all AoE, which usually it's not the
Yeah.
case. Yeah, so. And it is just piercing damage. Yeah. I'm trying to think if
The
there's
one
anything
good.
about any other new content. I mean, guild versus guild, we'll have to see. That sounds. The
Oh
range is
yeah.
cool, right? So already
Oh
seeing that
yeah.
range, GVG, that must be interesting.
He's probably going to be a flex unit, kind of similar to how we use Maw in some comps to go ahead and knock units back. Because it sounds like the knockback is the same, because I think Maw's is 2x strength as well. But this reads like it does a little bit more damage, which is actually really good.
Okay.
Also, he gets a shield, which we have to see how the shield will function with like all the other units on the team comps, but that could be good for PvE as well.
And with Guild War, is there really any reason to use the Northern Lords that you've seen yet or not currently?
Back in season 4, there was some use. Now that we're in season 5, 6, 7,
So many new
not
heroes.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd rather
You'll
get the
mainly
bonuses
see
for
it
the
as a
other
flex.
DPSs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Unless he can become a top. I don't know. I doubt he's going to be a top DPS for Guild versus Guild, but you never know. Let's see what the rest of it is. Maybe he'll surprise us. Cosmic Burst is the part of his talent here. When an enemy enters attack range, deals 300% damage to one enemy and 220% damage to up to 5 nearby enemies of his target. This effect can be triggered 1 time every 12 seconds. And then it books up a bit there. Oh my
That's actually
goodness.
nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That could stop bug strategies in like Guild v Guild, and even if
Okay.
you're just doing normal PvE content, that sounds like a really good consistent amount of damage just overall. But like
Yeah.
AoE damage is actually
Absolutely.
really nice.
Yeah, obviously Gear Raid 3, no brainer. He'll be great there.
Oh yeah,
But for
he might
someone
actually be
who's
the new king.
I love like using Ymir in
Uh-huh.
Gear Raid 3. I was so surprised because I can put him in a quirky spot. And then I was like, if only I had Lynx and Ymir. And then this guy as well. Like it would actually be a pretty interesting Northerner focused team with those guys involved for Gear Raid 3,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't really think of, but I mean there's new players starting all the time that haven't finished that content yet. So if they grab those heroes, it's just a totally different meta. Like it's actually quite fun to think about.
Wait, if we go down that track, technically, just off the top of my head, you could place him right side if you don't have a hot sit, and
Mm-hmm.
then he could go ahead and deal AoE damage and slows enough so that you can deal with the right side set or the right side,
Yeah.
and then you can have another unit on your left side like a Nyx or Razak or even a Maul, and
Maul,
you
I
can just
used Maul all the way to 21. I didn't even use a
oh yeah,
legendary. Yeah.
exactly. He could actually be really good for PvE content. I could see it.
I'm curious about the big range. I think that will make guild versus guild particularly interesting. But or I guess what else do we have? I don't know how that would be in like the geared dungeons though. Maybe I guess it's not
Gear
as
Dungeon.
Gear Dungeon 2. No. Gear Dungeon 2 when you need just a standard damage dealer maybe, but really you're just trying to kill those bosses quick. And then
Yeah.
the AoE waves at the bottom are kind of dealt with easily with a fighter like Volca, so
Yeah, I could see him being a gear raid champion. Honestly,
yeah.
I could even see him having maybe some usage in arena because Northerner teams for yeah, it's AoE. AoE
Hmm.
arena sometimes have a little bit of prevalence. So he could be really good for that as well because he gets the shields and the additional damage.
And the last passive here with the shield, when allies on the battlefield have a shield, they gain rage regen. What? That's
That's
cool.
nice. Would it stack with an LON?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because if so, then he could actually be the unit that will go ahead and put Northerners kind of on the map. Because one thing that Moonton likes to do is they like to center on a specific faction.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
Watchers got buffed with Ingrid, and then all the Wukong, Kigiri, they're also Watchers. Diao Chan's a Watcher. So maybe they're considering Northerners now because we have Lynx and now Fenris. So they're pushing something.
And Falcia, she just got a buff, and she's Northerner.
Yep. Exactly. So maybe he's the catalyst to start pushing a new meta.
It's interesting that you say that. I didn't even notice how much they cluster the factions. Because in King Arthur, they do it so obviously. It's like thrown in your face. Like, here is a bunch of serpent heroes. Here's a bunch, like,
Yeah.
they did them all in a row. You're like, okay, I get it. You want us to use that faction. Okay. But I never
Yep.
really noticed how much Watcher does it.
Yeah. They go through waves, which is very interesting because even now with the prevalence of like a Diao Chan, Infernal
Yeah.
unit as well, Solgadin's got buffed. Abyss 1, one of the best comps is to use Infernals. Like I'm seeing a world in which Northerners kind of reclaim some
Okay.
semblance of a spot, and then also Northerners are really good for Gear Dungeon 1 and 2. So it's potential that he could have some usage just as an AoE damage dealer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this sounds like it's smacks anyway. 600%
Oh
AoE
yeah.
damage. I mean, you can't go wrong there. And then, all right,
What are
let's see what
his
the awake.
awakenings?
Yeah, I'm so curious. So, Awaken 1, Undying Will, also grants allies in range a shield equal to 25% of their own max HP. Whoa. Extra shields.
Okay. The wheels are turning. Wheels are turning for Gilby Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cost -3 on the Awaken 2. That's nice. Not have to wait until like 4.
That's perfect.
Cost -3. Okay. And then Awaken 3. Cosmic Burst inflicts defense reduction. -20% too.
That's the second. Is it the second highest? I think
Yeah,
Torador and Hansard
Estrid
25.
has the 25%.
Ah, okay. That's actually
who's
really
also a
solid.
northerner.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. Oh, and that happens every 12 seconds because he does his cosmic burst every
Yes.
12. And so he has 7 seconds of downtime overall. That's actually really good, though. He basically has perma defense reduction.
That's crazy. And then, okay, penetration plus 5%. And
Hmm.
increases the damage multiplier of Undying Will by 300%. Wait.
This is old. So are we looking
Yeah.
at 1.1K?
Wait, what?
600,
What?
800,
800.
1.1K?
What?
That's a okay. That is some damage. Um,
That's
that's
crazy.
some damage.
Is
And he's
so
getting a shield.
AoE damage though. Does it really matter with that much of a multiplier? Is he viable for something with single target? You think with that much of a multiplier and a decent base? I don't know, with a decent base attack for a marksman, especially, and with the defense reduction.
Yeah. You know what's
Maybe.
interesting? So, you know how Silas is about 3.7K base? Other piercers like Hex have like 4.8, 4.9.
Hmm.
But what makes Silas so crazy is because of the bond skill, where he
Right. That's
negates all the
true.
defense reduction. So is it Fenris?
Fenris, yeah.
Yeah, Fenris. He might actually be the answer, not in terms of like a single target, but he will be able to do enough with his ult. I kind of think of him like a Pelagios, actually. He might
Yeah, that's a good.
function
Yeah.
similar. He's going to be good. I can tell. Like, there's enough things going on with this kid to where he's going to be consistent.
I like it. They've been doing a good
I
job
did
with doing
too.
interesting heroes lately. Like, I thought Malvira was so much fun. Like, instantly I was like, yes, I love this. It's so interesting. And sure enough, everybody else likes her. I'm glad. And this,
She's definitely good. I love this design. This design is just so
it's
interesting. I love the
so
cosmic.
boreas.
Yeah, I will give Moonton their credit. I love how they've been diving into like the Chinese mythos, like aesthetics that they've been using, and then
Yeah.
also like the cosmic aesthetic. I think even Ymrit's golden skin, it's not cosmic, but it gives that cosmic energy vibe. I just love it. It's just so good design.
It is. And I remember when it was the very first launch of Watcher, and it was nearing the end of the year, and I knew Chinese, they were talking something about Chinese New Year. I'm like, oh, you're gonna put out some cool heroes like
Hmm.
of their culture, and she's like, no, because they at the time they weren't even released in China. So like we're not gonna do
Oh,
that until we're released in China. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'm like, but we like that too.
that's so cool.
But I'm
I
glad.
just this unit, there's something about him where I just feel optimistic. I don't know how to describe it. There's just something about him where I feel optimistic. I was personally let down by Malvira,
Oh,
personally.
okay. Oh yeah, I saw your
Um,
video thumbnail. I wasn't sure how if it was just clickbait.
oh no.
You don't like her? I
We did
like
some
her, but I don't.
testing.
Maybe not for Guild versus Guild the way you'd want her.
Not for Guild v Guild, and there's some things that okay, so one of the tricky things is for a tank, and a lot of units in the game have very interesting mechanics. Like for example, piercers, they tend to go ahead and attack like airborne units.
Hmm.
He specifically mentions it, but
Yeah.
most of them don't. He also does AOE damage, which is also really, really, really valuable. But it's going to be interesting to see how he functions with flying units, ground units. How does he prioritize them? Does he swap targets? I don't think he
Oh,
will.
okay.
He's just gonna, nuke them, and it's gonna be no issue. I just think he's going to be really good, especially with like a. I wish he was dual faction. If he was piercer, it would be insane.
Yeah,
But
imagine
just
that
as a
range even
northerner,
longer. What would you do with it? Maybe that's why he's not.
oh yeah, no. Oh, this is interesting though. Oh wait, okay, hold on. His ult actually looks just like Edith.
Yeah.
Edith does the same animation, but he's dropping these units. They're dying. Edith
That's
doesn't do that.
true.
Also, interesting. This is a 2 second. I'm just kind of like overanalyzing this on my bad,
No, it's
but
good.
it's a 2 second knockback essentially with a 3 second stun at the end. It's 5 seconds of hard CC. Technically speaking, you could have him do his ultimate, then place a Malvira. So we've been talking about this in some of the clusters and some of the other guilds, right? Of like a CC chain where essentially you can go ahead and use Fenris, because this is a northerner, right? Or you can even use him as a cultist. It doesn't matter. But basically, northerner he knocks back, Malvira pulls him back, and you can create a CC chain if you have enough rage
Weird.
regen to
Yeah.
push, pull, push, pull, push, pull,
Because
and
they
it can
can't do
get a little
anything
bit
in those
interesting.
moments. Yeah, like when Malvira's pulling, that is CC.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
So, I
cool.
mean, he has a lot of potential to do a lot of really cool things. And also, he's going to be one of those units where if you pull him, you're going to be happy. Like, I can just tell because Northerners are kind of
Yeah.
like the,
And he's
you're new to the
versatile.
game. Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah. He
definitely
gives
like can be used in a
shields.
lot of content. Oh, did
This
it
is,
just freeze?
no, I don't think so.
It froze. It's
Oh, it did.
fine. At least it's on
Fuck
the
server.
ultimate.
He's going to be good, though. I just have a feeling. He actually, wait, Geary too. Geary too, he might be helpful because he's going to go ahead and give slows and a
Hmm.
decent nuke, and his range will go ahead and cover
Hit the
both
boss.
sides of the map and hit the boss.
Hit the
Yeah.
boss when like maybe like that Praetor strategy where you try to kill the boss early. I wonder if he'll be able to kill the boss early. I don't know. It might not be quite enough, but it's possible.
Oh yeah. Anything is possible with damage. If you
I
have
like
enough
it.
damage, you can do anything. But
Alrighty,
yeah.
well, yeah, he sounds really cool. Oh hey, it stopped lagging, but I still can't move this. I don't know what it's doing. Well, this will be the part where I actually go into the lore at the end here. So, Corey, thank you for sharing your insights. This was a fun one to look at.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
That was really cool. All right, guys, if you've been watching this, thank you. Make sure you go give Corey a sub and a like and all that fun stuff as well. And yeah, let's cut to the lore. The Hollow Crown. He thought he could walk the path of shadows and still hold the light. Now the darkness owns him. Absin, the roaring javelin. On the Denso prairie, where the winds howl and the earth once trembled beneath the thunderous hooves of the centaurs, Fenris learned early that survival wasn't about honor or pride. It was about power, and power he realized was never given freely. He served as military advisor to the chieftain of his kind, watching in silent fury as his people's strength eroded under the weight of tradition, despite his whispered admonitions. Absin, the roaring javelin and son of the great chieftain, was the only one who seemed to understand the true cost of survival, but even his mighty heart was tethered to old ways. Fenris had no such ties. In his eyes, the centaur's unwillingness to adapt to a modern world shackled them like animals in a pen, calling one generation at a time. When the Masoon Empire descended, bloated and cruel, Fenris saw the future, a kingdom not built on bloodlines or royalty, but on conquest and domination. The centaurs, with their pride and honor, were nothing but prey in a world of predators. They would be his ruin. For the right price, he betrayed everything, his people, his race, even the very blood in his veins. He laid bare their secrets, exposed their weaknesses. The chieftain was slain, a necessary sacrifice, and Absin, once a brother, in all but blood, was enslaved. In return, the Masoon gave him rank, a false crown. They gave him the illusion of power, but it was hollow, just a cage of gilded chains. Fenris had become nothing more than a puppet, a tool for the Empire's whims, and when his usefulness expired, they discarded him like refuge. Cast aside by the very masters he had sold his soul to, hunted as a traitor by his own kin, Fenris fled deep into the Blackroot Bog, where the earth itself seemed to mourn beneath his steps. It was there in the swamp's thick fog that he encountered Zealous, his name murmured in dark corners, a revenant whose very existence was a mockery of life and death, the Lord of the Styx, a twisted creature who had stolen immortality at a terrible price. Fenris, broken and desperate, saw in Zealous not just a way to survive, but a means to transcend. With a smile that betrayed ancient horrors, Zealous offered him the chance to remake himself. For his soul and allegiance to the great deity of the cursed cult, he would wield power beyond mortal reckoning, the kind he'd always dreamt of. A deal was struck in blood, and the centaur's flesh twisted with markings of a dark ancient power. His body, once covered proud tribal tattoos, was stripped of its history, carved from his skin in a brutal act of apostasy. The cursed Khan was born. No longer a centaur, bound to the old ways, Fenris had become something darker, something more, something terrifying. His mind was twisted, bound to forces beyond his understanding, but his ambition burned still, hotter than ever. In his wake, there is naught left but ruin, and Fenris would burn this world to the ground, if only to claim the crown of ash.